Hey, what's going on? I'm going to show you how to download and install RStudio onto your new machine. So this is a machine that I have installed RStudio on and R, so I'm not going to run through that process, but it's fairly simple, and just make sure you run it with admin rights, and if you run with the default settings, it will be fine. So the first thing you want to do is go and download R. R 3.41 is the most up-to-date one as of today, and I've already downloaded that, installed it. There may be different versions, but I'm using Windows. That's how they say it in Germany or Poland, I don't know. My last name is Witkowski, and I had a priest tell me, no, your last name is pronounced Witkowski. I was like, oh, you say so. So once you download that, now you can download RStudio. You're going to go to Products on the RStudio homepage and just download RStudio. Once you come here, you're going to want to download the desktop version. The server version is great if you're working with a lot of data and a lot of users. If you have a small business or a company that you want to use R with, I recommend you should probably think about using RStudio. So just download the desktop version, get the free one, and find your machine operating system and install the appropriate one. That's already been downloaded and installed. Once you finish that, install them with the default settings. Change it if you want, but then you'll be able to open RStudio. Make sure both of them are installed before you open RStudio. So you get to see me. Now we're going to go to, well, you can already see me because you're watching the video. That doesn't make any sense. Now you can download RStudio and open it. And I've just been playing around with it. Print hello world is the basic demo of this works. So that's what I've been typing. Let me explain a few things that are going on here. So this right here in the bottom left console is a console. In the bottom left pane is a console. And this is where you can test code. You can say print, make sure you're typing on the right spot, print GG, and that's where it's going to print. Right above is where you're writing your script. So this is your this is a script, and this is a line editor, and this is where it's going to be saved. So if you wanted to run that, you would have to type print GGG here, and it would be saved. I've already saved this. Now, a few things. I always thought this was the save as. This is actually save all. So if you're working with a lot of documents, just know that this isn't save as, this is save all. That's save single. I like doing save as when you're saving it for the first time because you need to give a name, but we're just going to save it like this. There are things you can do here, but I'm not going to get into that. This is your history. So this is where you can see the code that you've typed. Now, I know there's a limit. I don't know what kind of limit there is, but I wouldn't trust this to hold all your code. I knew somebody who was using that a lot, and if you clear your workspace or something else happens, then that's all gone. It's not saved. It's like working with temporary files on recovered versions on Word. This is your environment. This is where all your data is going to live. So I don't think I have any data on this computer right now, but if you want to import data, CSV, Excel, you can use SQL. This is where your values and variables are going to be saved. If you have functions, it's all going to live in this environment. Down here, you're going to have your files. So this is your working directory. I think this is just in my documents folder. If you click, excuse me, I had some chili for dinner. If you click that, then you can go to some different places. Change your documents. Say I want projects to be my working directory. It's going to change it. If you're making any plots with ggplot is a good one. You can make plots with tons of packages. This is where they're going to show. If you have images, this is where they're going to show. Packages. So these are the pre-installed packages. There are a lot that I use all the time. Stats I use a lot. I use tools, utils. Honestly, I don't even know because they're always installed. Not all the time. I don't know, but I use these. There are going to be a lot that you're going to have to download and install, and we'll show you how to do that after we run through the rest of this. If you need help on something, then this is where you're going to go. A lot of great cheat sheets. I would really recommend if you use something a lot like R Markdown or ggplot, one of these packages or tools, then get a cheat sheet because you're going to be referencing Google a lot and you're going to be referencing Stack Overflow a lot, at least I do, and the cheat sheet can definitely help you learn. This is your viewer. I don't know what it does. I don't ever use it. So this is really where I live. I do a lot of this stuff. So if you want to install a package, let's say we want to install ggplot. Now ggplot2 is the package name that you're going to install, and there is a function called install. If you want to type it out, there's two ways: packages, and you can see it's already pre-populated. If you hit tab, then it's going to install, and make sure you put your package name in quotations. So ggplot2, hit enter, and it's going to start printing some stuff. It's going to access CRAN, which is where most, not all, I don't think all, but a lot of the R packages are held, and that is where it's downloaded from. I think they're mirrored on other places, but that's the one that it's the most up to date. That's the one you want to use. CRAN is the tool that you want to use. So we're downloading all these things, and then it's installing it into your machine, so you can call it when you need. There are going to be some other packages that you see down here that are getting installed along with it. So they depend on each other, and you're going to have to use all of them. Not really, you're just going to load one, but there's a lot of different ones. Rlang, plier is going to be used here in some cases. I think they're built on top of these. So once this is all done, you can type library ggplot2, and you actually don't have to put quotations around this. I don't know what the difference is, why one is like that and why one's not. So if we start to type a ggplot function, now we can see we have all of these new functions in here that are coming from the package. That's one way to install it. This other way, and I actually like using this way a little bit better, but sometimes if I'm looking, I like doing this. You can come to the Packages tab and hit Install, or Update if you want to update the packages you've already installed. So let's install a new one. I use topic models a lot for modeling topics in unstructured text, so like Amazon reviews, or if you have comments on Facebook or Reddit. So this is a great tool to have if you want to get into that. So we're also going to install the dependencies here. You'll just click install. You can see that's where it's installing it from. And we're going to run through the same stuff. It's just going to type out and enter the same thing for you. And you can see it's installing everything we need. And if you want to load it afterwards, like we did when we typed out library ggplot2, then it's just as simple as checking one of these boxes. You already have some of these installed because of the ggplot installation and the dependencies. So you see we didn't have plier before, now we do. McGritter, I don't know how to say that. I always say words weird. I think that's how they sound, and then I tell somebody else, and it's pretty far off. So once this is done downloading, we'll install it. And something to note, if you're running something in the console, you have to wait for that to finish until you can run the next line of code. So if I wanted to load something else here, library plier. Now it's already loaded, but if I wanted to load that, you can see we don't have that little arrow there, right? The greater than sign. So it is just you're cocking up the code to go. You're not going to be able to send it yet until this finishes, and this is actually taking a long time. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's 10 megabytes, but it doesn't seem like that. There's a lot. Yeah, this was 2 megabytes, so that's how you download. We're going to stop this just for time's sake, if we can. That's the other thing. If you're working with a computer, make sure you know how much RAM you have and how much memory. Ours is going to terminate now, so this happens sometimes. What happened was the code, this makes so much sense now. Okay, so here we actually have, remember you installed R. R is running in here. This is the studio, so all the other panes. So this console restarted and terminated. So that was cool. Library plier, you just hit library plier. Same thing if we click this, model tools, it's going to load it right there. So this is how you start with RStudio. Look for some other data sets to import. Look for some data sets to start working with, and it's really easy to learn. And come back for more tutorials if you want to know how to use certain packages, or if you want to learn how to work with certain data. We're going to have a lot coming. All right, cool. Talk to you later. Nice. Okay. Stop this.